Snow drifted gently onto the sidewalks of a quiet Ohio town, covering parked cars and turning streetlights into soft halos. The evening rush had slowed, and most families were hurrying home with shopping bags and tired smiles. Lily skipped beside her father, her pink boots crunching happily against the ice. She talked nonstop about school, about a drawing she'd made, about nothing important, until she stopped so suddenly that her father nearly stumbled. Her small hand tightened around his coat. "Daddy," she whispered, pointing. They were standing in front of a modest pet store squeezed between a bakery and a closed bookstore. The window glowed warmly, filled with cages, blankets, and tiny bowls. Puppies slept, some played, some barked at passing shadows. And then there was that one. In the far corner sat a brown puppy with one ear flopped more than the other. It didn't jump or bark. It didn't press its paws to the glass like the rest. It just sat there, tail moving slowly, eyes following people as they passed, hopeful but careful. Above the cage was a handwritten sign taped a little crooked. "Returned. Limp after accident." Lily couldn't read all the words, but she saw enough. She saw the puppy wasn't like the others. She felt it. "Can I buy that dog, Daddy?" she asked softly. Her father froze. He followed her gaze, and his chest tightened. He read the sign, then read it again, as if hoping it would change. Returned. Limp. Accident. Words he knew too well from life. From people giving up when things didn't turn out perfect. He crouched beside Lily, bringing himself down to her level. Behind the glass, the puppy shifted, trying to stand, wobbling just slightly before sitting again. It wagged its tail anyway. "That puppy's hurt, sweetheart," he said gently. "See how it walks?" Lily nodded. "He's slow." "Yes," her father replied quietly. "And he might always be slow." She didn't answer right away. Instead, she pressed her mittened hand against the cold glass. The puppy scooted closer, nose touching the spot where her fingers rested. Its tail thumped harder now. Around them, footsteps slowed. A young couple lingered. An older woman near the bakery window glanced over. The world seemed to pause for this small moment. Her father swallowed. He thought about vet bills, special care, late nights, responsibility. He thought about how hard life already felt some days, about how loving something broken could break you too. "This puppy was already adopted once," he explained carefully. "Someone brought him back because he wasn't what they wanted." Lily looked up at him, confusion crossing her face. "They didn't want him." He shook his head. "I guess not." She turned back to the puppy. "But he wants us," she said simply. Her father felt something sharp and sudden behind his eyes. He looked away, breathing slowly, steadying himself. He had faced tough choices before, but none that looked at him with eyes like these. Inside the store, the owner noticed them standing there. She watched the man crouched in the cold, the little girl pressed to the glass, and the quiet puppy waiting patiently on the other side. And though no one said it out loud, everyone nearby could feel it. This wasn't just a question about buying a dog. It was about what kind of hearts people choose to listen to. The store owner finally opened the door, a small bell ringing softly above her head. Warm air spilled onto the sidewalk, carrying the smell of clean blankets and puppy food. She smiled kindly at Lily and her father, though her eyes looked tired, as if she had seen this same scene play out too many times. "Would you like to come inside?" she asked. Lily nodded eagerly, but her father hesitated for half a second before standing up. He nodded back. Inside, the store felt quieter, calmer. The other puppies barked and jumped as they passed, but Lily walked straight toward the corner cage, as if nothing else existed. Up close, the puppy looked even smaller. One back leg bent slightly inward, and when he tried to stand, he leaned against the side of the cage. Still, his tail wagged with everything he had. Lily knelt down. "Hi," she whispered. The puppy pressed his head against the bars. Her heart melted instantly. Her father stood behind her, hands in his pockets, fighting the ache spreading through his chest. "Do you know," he said gently, "that taking care of him won't be easy. He may need doctors, medicine, and lots of patience." Lily listened carefully, the way children do when they know something important is being said. Then she nodded. "That's okay." He sighed softly. "Why?" She reached into the pocket of her coat and pulled out a wrinkled dollar bill and a handful of coins. She placed them in her palm and held them up. "This is my birthday money," she said. "I was saving it for a toy. But he needs me more." The store seemed to fall silent. The owner covered her mouth, eyes shining. A man browsing leashes turned away, pretending to be interested in a price tag. Lily's father closed his eyes for just a moment. I don't need a fast dog, Lily continued, her voice steady. He can walk slow with me. I walk slow sometimes too. Her father knelt beside her now, truly kneeling, not just on the floor but in spirit. He looked at his daughter, so small, yet so certain, and realized she understood something many adults never did. You're sure? He asked. She nodded. He was returned, she said, repeating the word carefully. I don't want him to think everyone leaves. That was it. The owner unlocked the cage, hands trembling, and lifted the puppy gently into Lily's arms. He relaxed instantly, resting his head against her shoulder, tail still wagging. Lily laughed softly, tears in her eyes though she didn't know why. Her father stood up, feeling lighter and heavier at the same time. We'll take him, he said firmly. All of him. Paperwork was signed, names were discussed, and Lily finally decided. His name is Hope, she said. Because we found each other. As they stepped back into the cold evening, Lily cradled Hope carefully against her coat. The puppy leaned into her warmth, trusting without fear. People who had been watching smiled quietly. Some wiped their eyes. That night, a little girl didn't just bring home a dog. She brought home a lesson. About love that doesn't walk away, about choosing hearts over perfection, and about how the smallest people often carry the biggest kindness of all.